Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm finally ready to plant some stuff for fall in the garden. I have actually bought some seedlings. These ones are the ones I showed in the last video. I have started them, but obviously I started them too late, so they're not growing as fast. So I went to the farmer's market this week to pick up my CSA box. Subscribing to the fall CSA box now. And I also picked up some seedlings in there because they look so much bigger than mine, and I guess I really want to have a fall garden. When you're feeling the August burnout, you're kind of like, I don't know if I want to have another garden. But now that things are slowing down, I really want to get some things growing again. So I got some easy things, low maintenance things. I have some lettuces, some kale, a couple bunching onions because they look nice, and a few beets. Hopefully they'll mature before the frost comes. So with that said, I want to talk about fall planting. So the best way to know when you should plant your crops is counting back by your last frost date. First frost date, sorry. Is mine for this year, I think, was November 12th. You can look in the seed pack and it'll tell you how many weeks before your last frost date. Sometimes it changes. I'm going to link down below the website that you can check your frost date as well. So what to plant in the fall is the second thing I want to talk about. Cool weather crops, which are usually brassicas, broccoli, cabbage, kale, cauliflower, mustard greens. They're all in the Brassicas family. They all like cool weather season, cooler temperatures. Also lettuces do really good. Beets, carrots, root vegetables, the rutabaga if you want to plant them. Turnips, radishes, you can plant all of that in the fall too. My lettuces did great on the GreenStalk in the spring. I tried to put a picture here of how it looked like. It's beautiful. And then maybe even if you go back to my garden tours in the beginning, you can probably see how they looked like. The bok choy, amazing. My bok choys and my raised beds got all eaten by slugs, but the bok choys in this GreenStalk over here did good. I had them in the top layer, and they were just huge and delicious. So I direct sold some bok choy from seed, and I got some amaranth seeds that fell in here when I was harvesting. This is bok choy. I'm going to do the same thing since it worked last time. I amended all my GreenStalk already. All my GreenStalks already, my planters. I have a video on that too, on the update. I can link down below so you can take a look. I just added a layer of compost, and if you're in New York City, I talk about where to source get compost here in the city too. What I get mine from, because I like to get local compost. So make sure to watch that if you live here in the city. Since they're amended, I'm gonna plant them in the top layers. I was waiting for them to get a little bigger. Some of them are okay. See how these two are good? So they will be planted. I'm going to plant the small ones too, and I'm probably still going to direct sow them because they also can tolerate light frost. A lot of the Asian greens like Tatsoi, bok choy, mustard like Japanese mustard, all different cabbage varieties. I think there's a winter choi cabbage that I have dead seeds but I didn't plant, that can get really low temperatures, can thrive actually in very cold winter temperatures. So you can do that too. You know what? I'm going to put a list down below of things that you can grow in the fall so it's easier and just so you can go through. I recommend if you're new to gardening and if you don't really have a fall garden yet, plant what you like to eat and don't plant too much because there is less bug pressure in the fall. It's a bit easier to garden in the fall because there are not so many bugs eating your crops. But you don't want to just not eat like lettuce. There's only so much lettuce you can eat. I learned that lesson in the spring. I planted way too much lettuce. I gave it away and didn't go to waste. But just keep in mind, I'll just plant a variety. I would rather, instead of planting all different colors of lettuce, I would plant a variety of things. I'll plant some beets and some kale and some carrots so you can have more diverse things to eat. And that also make your garden a bit more resilient if the pests do come. So, lots of talk, let's get into action. I'm going to start planting this and show you how to plant a fall garden. So here I have mesclun lettuce, I have bull's blood beet, I'm sure I said it right, bull's blood beet. Those are, I bought this, I didn't start them. The ones that I started, sure they're here, are much smaller. So bunching onions. This is, I don't even know what they look like. They're beautiful. It says Rumex raspberry dressing, but kind of looks like sorrel. It looks like some herbs used to use at the restaurant to garnish things. So red vein sorrel, I can't remember how it was called, but I thought it was pretty and I'm gonna give it a try to plant this too. Kale, I have tons of kale in my garden already, but I absolutely love eating kale, and you can always blanch them and freeze it, so it's easy to store too. And romaine lettuce, love the crunch. I even also use for lettuce wraps to make for me to cut them and make it crunchy. I have already planted a few things for my garden here. I planted a couple of my Napa cabbage and one of my broccoli. Let me show you here. So here's the baby Napa cabbage and my broccoli. I had this, my friend that's moving actually gave me all the soil. It was very generous of her. So because I had this big pot, I planted those 2 cabbages in there and broccoli. I couldn't hold myself, I was so excited to, so I did it before this video. But I still have all of this to plant now. And I'm thinking that I'm going to plant mostly in the GreenStalk for today. And there are a few pots available. I have that one that only has basil but can be planted. This one too only has basil, and a squirrel ate a sunflower in here, so it's full of sunflower seeds. But I can plant something in here and in there too. Those pots, these ones are amended. I already have compost in there. That one I do not, so I do have some compost here. So I also got this compost. I didn't show this in my GreenStalk video. This is from the Hudson Valley. I went to Hudson Valley Seed Co. a couple weeks ago and I bought a few seeds and I wanted to get in touch with them. I also got this compost from them. It's like warm castings. It's similar to the one that I got from the Lower East Side Ecology Center, and I already used that to put in one of the pots. It looks great and beautiful. I'm gonna get a handful here so you can see. Don't want to waste it, but this is how nice this compost look. I'm going to throw a handful in that pot right now, and I'm not gonna amend it right today just because I already did a video on it and I don't want to make this video too long. So we're gonna plant things on these pockets that are empty on this GreenStalk. You see this one, that one, that one, that one, that one, this guy, but they all look, the dirt on top looks very nice and dark. It's because I have already amended. So on the top here, I took the watering this out because the water reservoir out because I wanted to plant some stuff today. It's just a little bit easier. So I have already also transplanted the seedlings. Those are grown from seed, and these are just seeds. I put some seeds in here. There's a cilantro and it sprouted. This was also probably it's probably a bok choy. He's a little eaten, but this guy was transplanted from my batch of lettuces. So those chives are going to stay here because they're perennials. They'll survive to the winter. They'll come back next year, so they're staying. The top of this GreenStalk is almost all clear. I felt bad to take out this nasturtium, so I'm going to give it a chance and see if it grows with the stuff in there. Because my other nasturtiums are already dying, see? Almost dying, are coming back now. So I will leave it in there. These nasturtiums, these red ones, looking nice. Let's do some planting. I'm going to start with some lettuces on these pockets over here. I'll bring the camera closer so you see what I'm doing. But it's very easy to replant on the GreenStalk. There are a lot of people that say that they like to change the soil completely. Honestly, I can't really afford to do that. It's really expensive to get new soil all the time. So through the season, when I replanted things, just added a fresh layer of compost, and now I'm more mindful about fertilizer. I use organic fertilizer because I do know that they lose nutrients and they're not in the soil, you know, they're just in this limited space that probably can run out of nutrients. So just be more mindful that they will probably need more fertilizer. But I don't use the synthetic kind. I like to use organic. I'm using a fish and seaweed emulsion one from Neptunes Harvest. So I'll start with the top layer just so it's easier for me here to hold the camera. I also want to take, this is an old plant that was here, probably a bean, because there was a lot of beans in here and did well. And I leave it in here. I don't pull it out with the roots. I cut to the base, and all these roots there in there, they also eventually decompose and it's going to feed the soil. So I am going to put this one here on the top. There's little bugs. This is a little bug just went through here. So there is some activity in my soil. It's not dead, so they will help me with fixing up the soil and decomposing things. So very easy to plant. I just start digging a little hole with my hand. You can use a shovel if you want to, but I don't know. In the beginning now I just do everything with my hands almost. You can use gloves if you want to too, I don't mind. So make a little hole that's about the size of the cell of the thing that you're gonna plant. I'm gonna put this beautiful curly red lettuce here. You can just This is not root bound yet. You see how these roots still look nice and white. They're still nice and healthy. You can help it out by kind of gently breaking them down so they will adjust better. Loosen up the roots, put it down. I like to press it, get it by the base and press it a little bit, and then kind of cover back with, oops, my planter is shaking, with the soil that was around. And that's it, very easy. I'm going to put one plant per pocket. You can put more than one, but I found that with lettuce it grows so nicely that one will just give me enough leaves that I don't need to put multiple in there. So I'm going to put this, that's it, one beautiful little lettuce now has a new home. Now I'm going to go ahead and plant the other ones in these other pockets right here. Since I have never grown this and I don't really know what it is, I'm going to put a whole bunch. I'm not going to separate. I can tell there's multiple seedlings in here, but I'm not going to separate it. I'm just going to plant as is. Found a worm inside my GreenStalk. I'm going to show you this. Look at that. Got a worm inside my GreenStalk, which is amazing. So they somehow made it here, and they also will help me maintaining the soil. So outstanding that I have a little worm in this vertical planter. It's incredible how they find their way. Isn't that so cool? I'm just getting back to focus here. Love getting my hands dirty. So, very nice. Oh, there's one more pocket. Let me do this romaine. One more romaine. Now the seedlings that I still have in here, my seedlings are smaller, the one that started from seeds not too long ago. I'm still going to use them. What's going to happen is, see how I still have basil in here and some oregano. My oregano might stay. This parsley that this swallowtail caterpillar just ate, which I think is really cool. They're all over my garden. I'm going to show you. They turn into beautiful butterflies, so I don't mind at all that they eat my stuff. So that ate the whole thing. So I'm probably going to take that out and put something new. Or you could even leave the parsley there because they just grow right back. There's some little other parsley there. And I have a tomato that's growing here. Volunteer. Obviously it's not going to survive. It's probably from a seed that fell or from a tomato that was there. But in that pocket it'll probably have some other things too. But let me show you how it looks like now with our new plants. This was a cell and a couple of these. I still have one more. Actually I might put this right next to it just because it's right there. But here it is now with all of our new little babies. Another one there, another one there. I might take this parsley out. I have enough. I have so much parsley in my raised beds. It will look nice if I can put actually a lettuce in there later. But now they will grow too. I'll have those that are a little bit bigger. Can be able to harvest them a little sooner than my little ones. And once I started harvesting, the other side of this GreenStalk is really big. It has full of stuff. You see this side here, I didn't have a chance to come to, so oh, there's a lettuce and a couple carrots, but most of them has a lot of plants. So this catnips, this lemon balm is probably going to come out. That little basil is going to come out. The basil below is going to come out. So that's, once this starts freeing up, I'm going to start putting the seedlings that I have started from seeds, those small ones that still need a little time to mature and get a little bigger. I kind of want to get them about the same size of these guys or close to it, but mostly maybe I'll do a box showing this next to it to change my mind, so then I can just plant something that actually I grew from seeds. So but here didn't come with the soil, was kind of wet so it broke, but still gonna be alright. It has not that many roots in it yet. So okay, that was my fall planting on my GreenStalk. Not ready to plant anything on my raised beds yet, but I wanted to just do a little fall planting because since I have these guys out here and they're kind of big, I wanted to get them in the GreenStalk. But those are the things that I'm planting, so you get the feeling how things are going to work out. For the raised beds, here I started clearing up. You see in my last video I took the squash and a few other things out, so I have to think about it. It's not even because I don't have space, I just have to think about where things are going to go. So I'm going to probably wait a couple more days until I have more time to thoughtfully come here to the garden, and I will scatter some of the seedlings in this raised bed here. But that will be it. Very simple, same process. It looks a little messy after, you know, you can come in here and just pat it down if you want to. They can look a little droopy when you transplant. Transplant meaning you're getting from a cell to the ground in the first couple days, so it's normal, but it's very important that you also water the soil. My soil is very damp, it's very moist already. I watered this morning, we also had rain, so it's pretty wet. I don't want to drown my seedlings either, so I think they're gonna be okay. It's very damp and moist, but it's very, very important that you water your things after you transplant it, so please don't forget about that step. I just have my soil, I felt it when I was transplanting that everything was very moist and damp, so these are still okay for me. But on the GreenStalk, if you're a little bit iffy, if you're scared, you can put the water reservoir, looks like this, and then you can just put more water, and it has this slow water dripping system, so it drips slow. It won't really hurt your seedlings that much either. It won't saturate the soil as much. So these are the GreenStalk here since I'm here. It's full of eggplants. Look at that. Isn't it cool? We also can grow big stuff. This one is the original, has bigger pockets. And full of flowers, there's a little baby eggplant in here. This is the fairy tale, and there's this different kind. It's a rosa bianca. That'll be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section down below. I try to answer as many comments as I can. Also, you can always reach out to me on Instagram. I'm going to put my handle right over here, and you can also click in the description box right down below. I'll put a link that goes straight to my page, so it's easy, you don't have to type anything, and you can give me a follow there. I'm very active on Instagram. I'm also curious to know in what region you are and you are planting right now for the fall, and what grows well in your region. So if you can help me out and put that down in the comments below, we can help other people to know and maybe connect what they're growing and what they can grow to. So that'll be super helpful. Thank you so much for watching again. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you next time.